Well, not for the first time, and it certainly won't be for the last time. Tonight in Turin, all about Cristiano Ronaldo. His 8th Champions League hat-trick has fired them in to the quarter-finals of this season's competition. An amazing result, an amazing performance again from a player who before tonight only had 1 goal in this season's competition. And Richie, you know, they brought him in, Juventus brought him into the club to win this competition, and he couldn't have done any more this evening. It was astonishing again.
It's incredible. We're sitting here kind of shocked and amazed and shaking our head in disbelief at something that in some ways become so familiar. Like, we even threw it out beforehand. You know, if any player you'd want in your situation where you need a hat-trick, he's the one, because he could deliver. But we spoke beforehand, is if they were beaten, if they went out, would it make the decision to sign him look daft? If a player like that is available and he wants to come to you, it doesn't matter what he costs, it's a no-brainer to sign him, and tonight is the reason why. Chiellini said in the build-up to this, he said, I'm 200% certain Cristiano will deliver. It's an amazing thing we're watching over and over again. Because,
you know, Stephen, in the build-up to the game, he has been kind of quietly critical of the way Juventus are playing. I mentioned it at the start, he wants them to play more like Real Madrid. Well, maybe last season's Real Madrid, but more attacking football, to play with more verve and all that stuff, and get away maybe from the more natural defensive instincts that team has.
Yeah, he wanted them to create more chances for him and have the ball higher up the pitch. And as an Italian side, defensively minded is always going to be the case. But today they came out on the front foot, they attacked from the beginning, they really went for it. And as the game was going on, like Allegri, you have to give credit to him, he changed it up. He went with Bernardeschi and changed instead of Dybala, who is their top goal scorer, just because he knew he would give balls into the box and create an attacking threat down the wings, which is where the space was. And they thoroughly deserved it. They totally went for the game, and they were on top and on the front foot for most of the match.
We'll look at Ronaldo in a minute, Richie, but I'm just wondering about, you know, say, the reaction in Madrid tomorrow with Simeone and the team conceding the 3 goals for, what, the 4th time this season. But, you know, Griezmann, we hardly knew the guy was on the field. Chesney, as Jim said in the commentary, it looked like he had a night off. Like at Atletico, this defending is fine. Yeah. But, you know, when they needed to go and score the goal, they just couldn't.
It's what they, generally speaking, they're so well set up defensively. Similar to Juventus. Get solid as it can be in defence, and then take your chances going forward. And they weren't really a defensive threat whatsoever tonight. Morata was very, very disappointed. Yeah. He kept getting into scraps, and it didn't look like he could make any impact at all. And as you said, Griezmann was almost anonymous tonight.
The lack of Diego Costa, the aggression that he produces up front, was a big miss for them as well, I think.
Yeah, and absolutely, he was suspended this evening. OK, let's get into the Ronaldo show. We had the first goal in the first half, and then the perfect time to score. The goal line technology coming into play as well. Yeah,
within 5 minutes of the second half, he did this. I mean, none of us saw this in real time. I don't know if there was a few hands there from the Juventus players. I don't know how much they genuinely believed it, but this is the strongest argument. It's a little bit out of date now, but as to why you introduce technology into football. I know we can all have an opinion on how it's been implemented, but goal line technology is a no-brainer. It's for things like this. In times gone by, when this wasn't here, people like ourselves, people in a TV studio, are better informed than the referee, which is wrong. We would have been sitting here talking about the injustice of Juventus going out had goal line technology not been there. So it was a great spot.
And it's where it works so well, because it's either a goal or it's not a goal.
There's no subjectivity. Yeah. It's over or it's not, so it's very straightforward, and the referee can get signalled immediately. It doesn't interrupt the game. So it worked perfectly.
There's very little chance, Stephen, in real time of an assistant referee seeing that over the line.
There's no way you're seeing that chance. Okay. Like, it's happened so quickly, and it's only because of the technology they have that goal is given. And it's amazing to think that we're at a stage now in football where those decisions are black and white, and it's given, and that's it. The game moves on. No one can argue with it, and there's no grey area.
But even the action from Ronaldo itself, again, we've seen it so much time. We take this for granted. Like, it was a standing jump. He perfectly timed. He positioned himself between Godin and Jimenez. Perfectly timed the jump, and he had the power and the accuracy to score from that position. Very, very few players can do it at all, let alone the consistency that he does it in.
It was a stunning finish. OK, so that was 4 minutes into the second half. 4 minutes from the end, Stephen, that we'll see the winning penalty, but the foul on Bernardeschi was daft.
Yeah, ridiculous. Like Bernardeschi, he is getting into the box, and at this point you just can't touch him, but he's running into a group of bodies. There's 4 men around. There's no need to lay a hand on him. In the end, he's kind of kicked his own foot and gone over, but it's the hand on the back that probably gives it away. And It's ridiculous. But, you know, who else would you want to be in that situation to step up and take the penalty apart from Cristiano Ronaldo? He is just phenomenal. Like, to go into this game and us be talking about, the possibility of a hat-trick, for him to actually do it again, it's mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing.
And the fact that it was against Atletico, like, he has tormented them so many times over the years.
He is literally single-handedly like torn them down. Like, he's knocked them out. Hat-trick in the semi-final, the winning penalty in the final, hat-trick in the last 16 here again. He's destroyed them on so many occasions. And then at club level as well for Real Madrid, they must hate the sight of him.
They're one of many teams that he's tormented.
Fair enough. Yeah, there's 25 goals against us though now.
Yeah.
A quarter of a century. The other Juventus chances in the second half, that when they got 2-0 up early, but the search for this third goal, it had to go very late.
Yeah, one fell to Mandzukic about 15 minutes from the end. It's a perfect delivery. I just don't think he expected it to come to, and Chan probably obstructed his view. It's too low for him to go with his head. A side foot volley would have been better, and you think really needed to do better.
Yeah, and then this chance here where Keane has come on, and we were discussing before the game about the chance for this young lad to step up, and 2 goals the weekend, and this was an opportunity of a lifetime for him to put what would have been an amazing week for him. But he's done everything right, got a good strike on the ball, but I think it's on his weaker foot and he just puts it wide, so good chance though.
Now, nobody's won anything. They're in the quarter-finals, but we heard in the build-up to the match about Allegri that he was he had met Agnelli, the owner. We saw pictures of him at the end, and kind of the decision about his future was kicked to touch. Where does that stand now? I know ain't no trophy given out tonight, but
I think their search is for the Champions League, so I don't think they're going to be satisfied. Like, this is an amazing night for them, a fantastic night for Juventus to go through into the quarter-finals, but it is the quarter-finals. They've got to this stage, they've got to this stage further. They haven't picked the trophy for a while, and that's what they want to do. So I think it'll be at the end of that when they make a decision on his. But I have to give him full credit tonight. He has done really well. His decision making, his tactics before the game, even throughout the match, he could sense the blood in the water, and he put on an extra striker, was going for the game, wasn't holding back, and you know the decision to leave the ball out was a big one, and it really paid off.
With the teams that have gone out of the competition, PSG gone, Real gone, Atletico gone this evening, Juventus as winners?
Man City didn't do too badly tonight either.
No,
they're looking strong.
Schalke,
You look at Barcelona playing, if they get through as well. United look like they could beat anyone. It's such a strong competition. We said that before kick-off that you can make a prediction in this competition, but generally you look daft. I mean, the knockout stages have been brilliant.
And with Ronaldo, well, Juventus will always have a chance.
The other game tonight in Turin was an absolute nail-biter, and Kevin Caban was watching it for us. Kevin, what's happened?
Oh, Tommy. Well, if you had a disappointing night in Manchester, this has been anything but in Turin. What a game. Real drama. We've had goal line technology being used in the game. We've had VAR used in the game. And we've had that man, Cristiano Ronaldo, back in the headlines again. He's hit a hat-trick, Tommy. And what an outstanding performance from Juve from start to finish. I mentioned just at half-time how Atletico started to come back in a little bit towards the end of the half, but Juve went in at half-time and they came back out again galvanated, and they went straight for Atletico. And what a performance by that man. We've said it so often, his goals record in the knockout stages is phenomenal. In the big games, that man turns up, and a hat-trick at this level tonight when they're 2-0 down from the first leg, it was a phenomenal performance, a phenomenal team performance, but more so that man Ronaldo right amongst the headlines again, yeah.
Some controversy in that one as well, Kevin?
Yeah, as I said, VAR earlier on, it went against Juve in that one. There was goal line technology for Cristiano Ronaldo's second goal where a cross came in from the right-hand side. Ronaldo rises. To me, it looked dodgy, Tommy. I did. Initially, I thought Jan Oblak, the Atletico goalkeeper, had made the save. I thought he kept it out. But goal line technology came into play, and that's as it turned out. Ronaldo's goal was given. 2-2 on the night then, and then overall, Tommy, they got the late penalty, and that was it. Ronaldo got the winner, and that's it. Game over. Juve through to the quarter-final. It's amazing, isn't it? It's an amazing story, Tommy. Absolutely incredible night.
That's in response to the Madrid coach.
We've just seen a post-watershed celebration there from Ronaldo, which was, as Graham says, reference to Simeone's celebration.
I think he heard Graham before the game questioning his goal scoring record in this Champions League.
Got that? He's come a week tonight. I've got that one right.
Yeah, I heard Graham say he was finished before the game. Thanks for that, Kevin. Kevin's analysis on our highlights programme of that extraordinary match in Turin on the way. It was a bit of a come at the hour, come at the man. It was all over to him. We've signed you for nights like tonight, and he delivered.
Well,
Not that we should be surprised.
He scored one goal in the Champions League so far, and then I still stand by myself. I think, you know, at 34, time does, you know, no one gets away with it. It does catch up with you. But I mean, he is a unique player. I said to my son on a regular basis for a number 5, 6, 7 years, enjoy this moment when you've got these two players playing. They don't come along in every generation, Messi and Ronaldo. And he's defying logic for me now. Yeah. He is defying logic.
What does it say about the sheer self-belief of the guy to go into a situation like that where, you know, as I said a moment ago, everybody's looking to him to deliver, and he does.
It's phenomenal. And I listened to his pre-match interviews. I also read stuff there in the week before the game, and his line was, "My passion, my enthusiasm will bring this team through the game. We will win." And you kind of read it at the time and you go, like Graham says, well, you're hitting 34 now. It's not logical for this to happen again. You're playing against Atletico, the pass masters, in keeping you out and keeping teams from getting chances. And it all happened for them. I think the manager deserves great credit because, you know, he brought more wit into the team, and he played the young fullback who put a couple of crosses in as well. And it was like there was more energy in Juve. So it wasn't just him on his own, but of course the papers, the headlines, everything will tell you it was. But he brought that belief into the group.
Can you imagine being a manager and having one of your players saying that? And what that must do to the rest of the team.
I mean,
if you're a manager and he's saying, my passion, what was it, my passion?
My enthusiasm.
Will get us through tonight.
That's leadership though, Graham, is it?
Yeah, and more. I mean, I come back to it. Ronaldo's up there. He has to be in the top 2 or 3 players that have ever kicked a ball. He's just a unique footballer. And I come back to it. 34, I didn't expect that tonight. I thought they would bully him. You know, but how many goals has he now scored against Atletico?
Is
that 25?
In mid-20s now, yeah.
25 goals against Atletico.
And you can put in a capsule that passion, that enthusiasm in the first goal. When you see the first goal later on tonight, and his ability to win a cross that he was nowhere near favoured to get, but that desire, that whole self-belief, he set it away. And once that happened, the stadium came alive, and it's just frightening to think of his ability, but B, that drive and determination added to it. Sensational.
He's got lucky. We've got time for a quick story. I'm managing Galatasaray. They have a basketball team. 2 American guest players used to use our gym in the afternoon. I said to him, you ever played against Michael Jordan? Yes. They said he's a complete freak. He said, you leave the ground at the same time. You go up, you jump, leave the ground at the same time. You land, and he's still hovering. And you'll see that with Ronaldo tonight. There's something freakish about him. He's just a unique athlete.
In terms of the ability, and you just mentioned the fact that age catches up with everybody, yet he's able to still make himself influential and important on these big nights, even though we don't see him dancing down the wing as we did earlier in his
you
career.
don't see him doing this sort of long burst thing.
Is that a mentality thing?
Yeah, but it's also it's game management. It's also understanding your body. I mean, you don't see him in the wide areas where we used to dance in, take 3 and 4 people in, curl a shot into the corner. He plays more central now. And what you'll see tonight, I mean, they throw a lot of balls into the box, Juve tonight. Why? Because, you know, he might get an end of stuff. It's a bit like I worked with Alan Shearer for a year. I mean, you were a good header of the ball. The best ones, and Shearer's my size, not big, but he would bully centre-halves. And Ronaldo must be 6 foot tall, maybe 6'1". But what they do, these guys, they pick the flight up quicker than the defender they're playing against. So they'll know within 2 yards of the ball leaving the kicker's foot where he can go and attack it, where he can get above the centre half. And it's quite a unique talent, but he is the most wonderful athletic footballer I think I can ever remember.
And it's most sort of unheralded, but he is one of the finest headers of the ball in the game since we've all been watching. You mentioned Alan Shearer, he was excellent as well, and it's an art, it's a dying art in many ways. But you're right, the second it leaves the boot, he hovers then where he's untouchable, because that ability to stay hovered, and his power header, you know, his accuracy with his heading, it's I don't talk about it often enough because we don't see it as much anymore, but I get a real kick when I see that.
See another thing, when you see the first goal, the bravery. I think it was Juan Fran he was coming over the back of. The bravery there to go and attack something where Juan Fran might at the last minute throw an elbow up, or he might lash his head backwards, and he's attacked it with such purpose. The minute that ball, he was saying to himself, this is my ball.
Desire. We're going to analyse